What's up, guys? It's John here, and sorry again for cutting it kind of close, but I wanted to, I mean, it's still pretty early in the morning, so I imagine anybody, that gets notifications or what have you, will have ample time to make their plays. I kind of like this week, so we've been definitely doing better this second half of the year. Um, week 10 was a really good week. It was a week, yeah, week 10 was a really good week. Got a lot of upsets. We were like in the 70 percentage. And we've been a lot of like 50 percentage. This last week was like 50% on the nose, which isn't good, obviously, because I got to do better than 50% to beat the juice. We did get the Dolphins. We didn't play Thursday. We did get the Dolphins. Falcons, I lost again. There's not much of a shocker there. I think we got the Bills cover. I think I did have the Texans winning, but maybe I did have the win no cover. I honestly don't know. The Bears, I do know we had that one with the Bears winning basically by exactly 3 or 4. Instead, it was 2. To me, the Giants made some sense, but that didn't happen. Bengals, I was really surprised because it made a lot of sense, and now they're basically out of the playoffs with Burrow returning. Jags, we did get. This one was a 50-50. Missed this one, though. I had the Seahawks. Did have the Niners. Not terrible. Had the Ravens. And I did have the Chiefs. The ones I had a lot of conviction in, I guess, and we won the Eagles, so better than 50-50 actually, but some of the ones I really had conviction in, that being Jags, Bengals, and Falcons, didn't come through. So let's do this week. And I like a lot of these matchups. I looked at them a few times. Right off the bat, I do like Chicago here. Um, Normally, they get this kind of odds against a team like the Giants, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's a trap. Maybe people just don't believe in Chicago yet. It could be a lot of things. To me, against the Steelers, there's nothing fishy about this line, and I think Pittsburgh going to 6-5. A, to keep that division close, and B, because I think them flirting with a losing season would be a big story. So compound that with just overall, I think the Bears run here. Their winning streak after last year, they did the opposite, 4-2, and then they lost like 10 straight. So I think Bears win, and I'll take them to cover. I am gonna go, as foolish as it is. They don't have Chase. Patriots, you could argue, the best team in the league right now. So they are at home, but a touchdown favorite. I feel like if nothing else, Vegas knows this won't be a blowout. And although it's still very unlikely, a Steelers loss, Bengals win. They did split the games they played each other. The Bengals have a chance for the playoffs. Burrow is returning. So I am going to go with that logic, even though I normally would just give up on it. I'm going to take the Bengals to win here. We have Lions here. And I think they're going to bounce back after that Eagles loss. And this seems like one where people might think the Giants could pull the upset. So you might have a lot of money on the Giants. So very possible Lions win, don't cover. But I'm going to take them to cover the 13.5. Well, in this one, I kind of have the opposite. A Vikings win would be interesting because it keeps the entire NFC North like in the hunt, which I think is a great theory. They haven't done it ever. Now that we have 7 playoff teams, theoretically an entire division can get in the playoffs. And right now, the only, I think, realistic team, a realistic division to do so would be the NFC North. Makes me like the Vikings. I do think that I just don't believe in the Vikings that much, and I think they'd be a boring playoff team. And then you throw in how the NFC West is looking. At least those, the top 2 teams there. I just don't see really a path for the Vikings anyway. So I think the Packers win here, just to keep the Packers, Bears, Lions as this like 3-headed monster. I do think the Vikings are going to cover though, so I'll say Packers win, but I like the Vikings +6 here. Seahawks after getting beaten, but not beaten badly. But Darnold looked really, really bad. A lot of guys on the team looked pretty bad. I think they bounce back here. I think they win. And I'm gonna say Titans cover the 13. Because Titans have the only players they do have are injured. So I just feel like, again, it's probably one where no chance the Titans win, but maybe they get a backdoor cover and they don't lose by 2 touchdowns. So I like the Seahawks, but no value there. So the value would be with Tennessee plus 13. Colts Chiefs here. I gotta go with the Chiefs. 5-6 would be interesting because they could do that and then just have them win 10. What would it be? 5-6. They'd have to win like 6 straight or something. 7 straight if they, yeah, it'd be 6 straight to be 11-6. I guess they could do that. That would be something Mahomes hasn't done before, like a long run back to the playoffs. But again, if they win here, Broncos are on a bye. Yeah, if they win, you keep the stakes for the Chiefs can still win the division there. So they lose. It is another story where you can have, okay, can Mahomes win 5 of the next 6 and get into the playoffs? But I'm not just gonna go with the Chiefs. Chiefs win here. I'll take them to cover 2. I think that they're gonna just keep them in the Broncos Chargers as close as they can for those divisional games. Jets Ravens. I have a couple favorites winning and winning big, and I think this is no different. The Jets got their stupid win after trading all their best players against who was it? I don't even know who they beat. That's how bad they are. But they won the game. Maybe it was the Browns. It wasn't a great game, but whoever it was, they did win. And the Ravens obviously need this win. And I think this would be like an establishing game to show that, the Ravens are back and ready to compete with Pittsburgh and whoever else. So I'll take the Ravens to cover the 13.5. Browns Raiders, honestly, I'm just going to go Browns. Shador, kid's been through a lot and his house just got robbed, so maybe the NFL throws him a bone. And honestly, I think the Raiders have more potential with Genty, with Bowers, with the coaching even. So them getting a horrible draft pick where maybe they could take Arch or something makes more sense to me at this point. Obviously, a playoff run would be laughable. So, yeah, I'll take the Browns to win this one straight up. Jag Cardinals. Just because the line looks like a trap, I like the Cardinals straight up here. Not much more to say there. Eagles Cowboys. Eagles have been looking pretty good. And again, because the line looks a little trappish and because I think keeping the Cowboys in the hunt just makes sense. I'll go Cowboys straight up. Falcons, Saints. I'm going to take the Falcons. I do not think, at this point, I will say, I do not think they're making a playoff run. They're shutting down players left and right. I get all that. And even the line, more people probably will be on the Falcons. Meaning, probably Saints win, but I'm going to ride with the Falcons here just because they got Kirk O'Chain starting. And as bad as the NFC South is, a win could make things at least kind of interesting. So they've also lost so many games. I don't think too much money is going to be on them. And just like with the Raiders, I think the Saints kind of get a shitty draft pick too. They're another team that needs a quarterback, and they do have a direct tie to a Manning. So yeah, with everything, I got the Falcons here, and then Bucks Rams. I do think the line is right here. It is technically Baker versus old team. He's going to be down some weapons, I imagine. Well, actually, I know. I'm actually going to take the Bucks to cover, and I'm not a coward. I'll take the Bucks to win straight up. I don't want to just because the Bucks are a pretty good team. So when they're getting plus 300, it kind of makes me feel like Vegas might know something. But the Bucks are pretty depleted. The Rams are pretty unstoppable. They are at home. NBC Peacock is a good time for Baker to do Baker things. So yeah, I'll take Bucks straight up. And then we got Panthers Niners. This one I got going. I was gonna say, if the Panthers win, I think, yeah, I'm actually going to go with. I was thinking if the Panthers win, then them and the Bucks are like dead even, but they're close enough that it doesn't matter. I think the Panthers can lose this game. And then again, it makes Niners, Rams, Seahawks a very crazy three-way race, kind of like the NFC North is doing. So, yeah, I think Niners win, start to reestablish that dominance. Kind of like I think we'll see from the Ravens on the AFC side. I think we're going to see that from the Panthers on, or I'm sorry, from the Niners on the NFC side. So I will take the Panthers to win and cover this game. So yeah, that's what I like for this week. Because of the playoff ramifications and stuff like that, I do think it's going to be a pretty strong week. If it's 50-50, it's actually a good week because we do have like four pretty sizable dogs. So long we have a decent hit rate, it should be a profitable week. And there's a few of these I really do like a lot. The Bengals is one that I think just makes sense, and then there's a few others too here that I kind of went into. Cardinals, not great odds, but Cowboys, Falcons, etc. Bucks. So we'll see what happens. Take care.